The Kingdom Hearts series has been a cherished part of my video game collection since I was first introduced to it at my best friend's house back in 2007. Although, the first game of the series I played was actually Kingdom Hearts 2, because my friend was in the middle of playing it when I was coming over to hang out on the weekend, and I wanted to have a try myself. I played through the Roxas prologue in Twilight Town and grew really attached to him, sympathising deeply with his issues of identity and discovering the dark truth behind his summer vacation. Then, about halfway through the struggle tournament, my real-life day had itself become Twilight, and I was taken home for dinner. But the next time I came over, I asked my friend what all the dream sequences meant, and he explained that they were scenes from the original game. I excitedly asked him, "Do you have it? I want to finish it before I come back to the sequel." And he said, "Sure, you can take it home if you like, along with my whole PS2 collection," and I was absolutely floored. I said, "You really don't have to do this," and he said, "It's okay, I've finished all of them anyway." It was the kindest thing he has ever done for me, and my friend, if somehow you're out there watching this, thank you. After 19 years of love for this wonderful series, I'd like to take a look at the game that started it all and examine the magic of its world. Literally. It's common knowledge at this point that the spells of Final Fantasy and therefore Kingdom Hearts are directly inspired by Gary Gygax's perennial 1974 classic Dungeons & Dragons, but that's only part of the story. How did this become the standard set of elemental powers to begin with? Part of the answer is rooted in the classical elements of ancient Greece, earth, wind, fire and water, which are represented in Kingdom Hearts with gravity, arrow, fire and blizzard, respectively. The great philosopher Aristotle also included a fifth element to the list, ether, which he claimed held the planets in space, and from which the drinks to refill MP get their name. Another part of the answer is that the ancients identified elements of nature with gods and goddesses, and therefore one who dedicated themselves to said god or goddess could partake in a share of their elemental power, like deriving temporal power from Kronos, or the power of thunder from Zeus, for instance. From a medieval European perspective, such kinds of magic were seen as black magic, a distinction captured in the original Final Fantasy's medieval setting. But what about its inverse counterpart, white magic? The black magic-white magic distinction is a Christian one in origin. As such, white magic reflects the miraculous powers of Christ, healing the sick and impaired, reviving the dead, and conjuring food to feed the hungry, and this in turn inspired cure magic. Going back to the topic of black magic, Ansem possesses both the ability to shapeshift as well as to possess the bodies of others. A notable ancient Greek example of a powerful shapeshifting being is Proteus, whom Homer called the Old Man of the Sea, and was associated by the medieval alchemists with the element of mercury. Bodily possession by spirits, meanwhile, is an important part of the practice of Haitian voodoo, a form of spirituality that combines elements of Christianity and the traditions of West and Central Africa. Such spirits are referred to as Iwa. The last thing I'd like to touch upon are aesthetics. Some historians argue that the standard aesthetic seen with Merlin and most other fictional depictions of wizards, and to a lesser extent witches, is derived from the Norse god Odin, but the tall pointed hat is almost certainly derived from the fashion of medieval scholars. Something that we see often over the course of the game are magical wands/staffs, like Donald's staff, Maleficent's scepter, or the wands of Merlin and the wizard Heartless, and these have a long history that stretches back to ancient times. The ancient Egyptians, for instance, had the Was scepter, which held magical power and was only carried by gods, pharaohs, and priests. And regarding the history of wands specifically, we can see Circe use one to turn Odysseus and his men into pigs in Homer's Odyssey, after the food was poisoned with a magic potion, which also demonstrates the ancient history of potions, albeit one with a harmful effect rather than the life-giving properties of KH's potions. Indeed, Christ himself is also depicted using a wand to perform his miracles in the Christian art of late antiquity. A magical object in KH that serves a similar function to a staff or a wand is the trident of King Triton, something that the god himself is actually described as wielding by ancient Greek authors. Thank you for going on this journey with me. May there be many more.